So welcome back to my YouTube channel. No, I'm just kidding. Today we're going to be learning about the area of triangles, squares, rectangles, and circles. What is area? Area is the size of a surface. So it's basically just like how much a surface is. Okay, so first we're going to be talking about the area of triangles. It's so exciting. I totally know everything about triangles. So, the area of triangles. First of all, the formula is base times height divided by 2. And okay, so you know which one is the height and which one is the base because they have to be perpendicular to each other. So this one is the height and this is the base. So let's start off with a practice problem. So let's say that your height is 8 and your base is 9. You plug in your formula right down here. So base times height divided by 2. You plug in your numbers. 9 times 8 divided by 2. 9 times 8 is 72. Divided by 2. 72 divided by 2 is 36. So your answer would be 36 inches squared because you have to remember your units. And right here it says inches. And it's squared because it's just, you have to cover the whole surface of it. Oh, and you have to divide by 2 in your formula because it's basically like half of the triangle. Next, we're going to be talking about the area of a square. The formula to find area of a square is A equals S squared side squared, or side times side. So these are your sides. All sides in a square are congruent. So first of all, what you do is you plug in your numbers. So it's side times side. This says 3, so it's 3 times 3, which is 6. So your 3 times 3 is not 6. 3 times 3 is 9, which means that your answer would be 9 inches squared, because remember, area is square inches. Well, it's your unit squared, and your unit in this problem is inches. So we are going to be talking about the, the area of a circle. So first, let's start off with the formula. Pi r squared. That's the formula for a circle, pi r squared. And you may be like, what's pi? Well, pi is a rational number. It's basically the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter, and it's always the same number. Let's start off with, this is our circle, and so it's pi r squared. R stands for radius. This is our radius. It's a small portion of your circle, and then this is your diameter. It's about like half of your circle. So your diameter is always going to be 2 times your radius. So if your diameter is 4, your radius is 2. So let's solve it. So the formula of pi r squared, you plug in your numbers, your radius, I don't know if you can see that, but that says 2 inches. So your radius is 2. So you plug it in, pi 2 squared, which would be 2 squared is 4. So the answer would be, you can leave it in terms of pi, which means you just don't do anything with pi. And so it would be 4 pi. And now we're going to be moving on to real life examples. So let's say that, So we remember from earlier the area of a circle is pi r squared. So I already measured the bottom of this. So I already measured the bottom of this. So we remember that this much is diameter. About to like right here is circumference. And so I already measured that with my ruler. So the diameter was 3, but the radius is 1.5, and we need to focus on the radius. We already know our formula, pi r squared. So you plug in your numbers. 1.5 squared is 2.25, and so the answer would be 2.25 pi. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about area of a triangle. In the area of a triangle, you have to remember that the formula is base times height divided by 2. And so what I used for my triangle is I used this box and I measured it with my ruler. And the measurements turned out to be remember, the formula is base times height divided by 2. So the base was 3 and the height was 2. So I did 3 times 2, and then that was 6 divided by 2, which is 3. But you have to remember your units, which is inches, so it is 3 inches squared. Finally, we're going to talk about squares, a real-life example of a square. So we remember that the area of a square is side times side, and what I used for my square is this coaster, and I already measured it, and so the sides of it were, well, every side was 4 because remember, all the sides of a square are equal. So I did my formulas, side times side, plugged in my number, 4 times 4, which is 16. But remember, I'm measuring in inches, so it is 16 inches squared.